How we doing tonight, guys? Shabbat tov. Weseman tov. Adonai yavot tov. How you doing, guys? Guys, we got a good one tonight. Good guests coming. Good guests coming. It's gonna be a good one. Hope you enjoy it. Let's see where they are. 1 second. Now, Nabi Eliyahu had to speak. ויבוא אלינו מלך Mashiach ben David. What's going on, guys? I had a beautiful Shabbat. Really, really nice. The ideal life. Yes, it is. I don't think anybody in the lives better than Deal, New Jersey. I'm proud to say. The ideal life. Excellent. Excellent top to bottom. Shabbat. Here they are. 1 second. Gotta accept here. Wow.
Hey, Mexican potato, what's up?
Girl, how you doing today?
Oh,
Shavua Tov.
a gute Woche.
A good Woche. Also, a gesunde Winter. A gesunde Winter. Okay?
That was weeks ago. No.
I'm learning Yiddish, and because I do a little business with the Satmar. You know the Satmar? I know you know them. Now, let me just, by way of introduction, I'd like to say we have with us today Adina Sash, aka Flatbush Girl, who, what I would say is, and it really is honestly the women of Israel. Right, Benot Israel, we say Kedoshoten. This is truth, and they really are. You fight the fight for the women, so I don't think anyone could come against you, because who are we to go against women? You lose every time. Cannot. So
Listen, to be against it or not, we're gonna be fighting no matter what the input is. People could criticize, let them yenta, let them cry. I don't give a shit.
You're right, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring up what I just told you before. Is like, you'll go as far as Belgium, right? If there is a Naguna, right, you'll go to Belgium. And you'll be like, you'll knock on the door, and where is the get? Like,
where's the guy?
I want it now.
I want it now.
Could you tell us a little bit more about how? Well, listen, we're Sephardic. I was involved in those those 3 gets back then. You know this already, right? And at the end of the day, we really do things behind closed doors, and we try. Really, our rabbis are very good, but of course, there's always cases that we know. So, what got you into this?
I mean, it's so, it's very stimulating. It's like, if you're a stimulant junkie, you're going to want to go into the field of Gittin. It is nonstop action. And the most amazing part is you can channel your need for excitement and chaos. And, you can channel it in a way that benefits the community. So, we always have, there's a place for everyone in making, Judaism better.
It's very nice that you do that. I'll tell you one thing, that my community is very blessed. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, very blessed. We really are. But I'm not of those that has those kind of dollars, shekels. But I said to myself, I turned 40 this year, big 4-0, by the way. Pacino, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And honestly, I said, okay, so what's more valuable than money? Adina, what do you think? What's more valuable than money?
Everything. Family, love.
Time. So I take a portion of my day, of my time. I try to do good with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's really nice that that you do this now. What I would want to ask you, and by the way, I'm part of a lot of chats, both in the Satmar, Getter, Mir. I know all of them. Slobodka. I know the Lubavitcher Rebbe, of course. What
Bells,
I want to,
Bubba,
yeah, no, Bub of the Tush. How about the Tush?
Tosh,
Don't forget.
Toshadayan,
Yeah,
Toshadayan.
good. And I know the Pismonim also. I'll sing the Pismonim some other time, but Pismonim meaning the songs that they sing even. What I'm trying to say is that in the background, as you know, um, you have some like people who just disagree. Like you know what, Flatbush girl, like stay home. They'll tell you stay in your lane, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like we're all going on a highway, stay in your lane, don't go right or left, and you say no. Why do you say no?
Because they're not doing anything productive. It's not like they're criticizing and then leading the way in another manner that's actually resulting in anything. They're just criticizing because they want to distract from the fact that they don't want to get off their asses and do anything and that they're afraid to do anything. So rather than saying, oh, I'm guilty for not being able to join or help, or I don't have any better ideas, they rather just, invalidate the entire cause completely. That way they can sleep better at night.
I agree. By the way, and just so you know, I want to tell you something because I really study. I love studying our law. Why do I like studying it? Because first of all, I know the Torah very well. Thank God.
Yes,
I
I
am a
know.
reader.
I know that about you, and I have tremendous respect for you. You have an incredible photographic memory, and your recall is outstanding.
As the Sfard, right? This is what we're born with. Thank God, Baruch Hashem. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that I want to rephrase a little bit of what you say, right? Just so I want you maybe to get a little bit out of this. Okay, so we know, you already said this, that an aguna really is not what is today, meaning that the guy goes, well, yeah, you want to get divorced? I'm holding the gap. Too bad. And leverage, right? We know that an aguna is not that in historically. An aguna is that the guy went to business or to war or to wherever he went and didn't come back, right? And there was no way to contact him like there is today, right? Now, when the pasuk says, when they get divorced, right? A bill of keritut means to cut, right? What are we cutting here? Like karet, right? What are we cutting here? Is his responsibilities towards his wife. There's a certain, the ketubah, right, has all these responsibilities. You got to do this, da 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 da. And when they give a divorce, you're cutting that responsibility, quote unquote, keritut, right? So the point of the matter is that this, the way we have it in America, never ever happened. It's the first time ever. Okay, and I think that you are, well, already because you put so much effort into this, you're going to be one of those that you're going to be heard in betins across. So you have to be, right, because you go into their house. So like, okay, you're there. They can't tell you, oh, Flatbush girl, stay home. You're not doing it. So, but it's important to note this that it's not. They're not agunot. It's not called an aguna. Aguna means chained, and there's no way to contact the husband. That's what it means. Aguna, chained, cannot contact the husband. What is today, I would call more like the blending of American and Jewish law, which doesn't work for whatever reason. And I'll tell you the complaint of the men. Well, there's also women that don't let me see the children. And I'm sure you have an answer for that. What's your answer for that?
Okay, so first of all, that's your opinion that the terminology for aguna is only for specifically the scope of a missing husband. That's your personal opinion, and I respect that. I disagree firmly. I think that by stripping away terminology that everyone has a frame of reference for is a way to dilute people's attention and create nuance where there is no nuance that belongs there. Abuse is abuse. A woman stuck and hostage in a chained marriage is the same concept in terms of the impact that it has on her children and her family. She's being denied ona. She's not being given mazon. She's not being given any of the commitments in the ksuba. I don't care if he's alive, dead, stooping the neighbor in the basement. She is in agona. So that's my personal opinion. Let's not. That's like the people who say it's not
You're
anti-Semitism.
saying I'm picking it. No, I agree. Listen, I agree on that. So we're going to use that term to refer to the 2025 version of it. But I'm saying historically didn't mean that, right?
Well, the only
And we're on the
reason,
same page.
but why did
We're on
it
the same page when it
historically not
comes.
mean that? It historically didn't mean that because women were not empowered enough to leave abusive relationships. Female initiated divorces were extenuating circumstances where women were had their back against the wall and there was no other choice. Usually it was male initiated up until recently.
Just so you know, like let's say in our cities, like in Syria, Egypt, like that, this didn't exist. Even up until even my own grandmother got divorced, right? And the guy ended. She lived in Colombia. He left to Argentina, right? And they followed him. They sent a letter to the rabbi in Argentina, and the story goes like this. I'll tell you. This is how it happened. They brought a commission of men to this guy, said, "You give the get, or else." And there was a hole in the ground. Okay? Like that kind. Colombiano. You know, Colombiano style? Cartel style.
Great.
And that's what the Bedin used to do, right? And these things didn't exist. Oh, you know what? I decided to just hold it over your head. No, no, sir. You understand? The rabbis were very, very strict on that. Now, that's not to say that a woman could just get up and say, you know what? I'm done. Like, okay, I mean, I'm not saying, listen, don't take that like, in a way where, of
women
course.
do not. Okay, so let me tell you something a little bit about women, right? Women want to be in intact families. Women want their children to be raised by the father who donated the sperm. Women do not want to just for fun, just
You're
splinter the family for the hell of it, because nothing is better than what it looks like when you have an intact family. The photos look really good, okay? So the only reason a woman is ever leaving a marriage is because she is so freaking miserable and frightened and afraid for her life. Women will tolerate a lot more bullshit in a marriage than a man ever will. Now, also to get to you, so to say, oh, women can't just decide, oh, I'm just picking up and going. Women don't pick up and just go. They never do. Halavai that women should start doing that, in my
Because they're good
opinion.
mothers. Because they're good mothers.
They're good mothers.
Again,
They put
going
their children before
back to
everything.
Benot Israel Kedoshot He. Now, what I really so we already discussed what the situation on the ground is.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think a solution is? Let's say you're a Flatbush girl, the defender of women. I'll call you Flatbush girl, the liberator of women. Good. Now,
Thank you.
yes, that's what you are.
Thank you. But in the space of Gittin, it is a little bit more, I really feel it is a little more gender neutral than that. I really advocate for the get before I advocate for the husband or the wife. I really see myself as a voice for this voiceless piece of cloth. And it doesn't matter what I need to say to either side. I will say and do what needs to happen in order to get it done with. Happens to be that women are more frequently victims in this situation because women tend to be victims of coercive control more often, and the get is the executive control item of a male. So I'm just saying, I don't think of myself as a liberator for women in the space of Gittin. I think of myself as a facilitator for Gittin.
Good. And when you see no other avenue, you already know that like the peace aspect was like way gone.
I am not brought in ever until it is so far beyond
You're a
anything
last
possible.
resort.
I'm a
You're a
last
last resort. Well, they got a good person on their team for a last resort. I got to tell you that. From the videos I've seen of you. The videos I've seen of you. Flew to Belgium, knock on the door. Hi, Rabbi, where's the get? Now. He's like, who are you? Well, I'm Flatbush girl. Dude, you should carry like a Ghostbusters item or some sort of like a superhero situation, you know? So, who knows? But no, bottom line, going back to serious, right? What do you see as solutions? Flatbush girl, let's say I was the Bedin. Judge Blatty. Me, they call me Judge Blatty, my friends. Judge Blatty. Let's say I'm the Bedin. What's your solution?
So the solution is not necessarily something that's a one size fits all thing. It's more that the solution is that the concept around kfiyah, kaifin lagarish, needs to be much more, there needs to be a lot more awareness about what that means. Kaifin lagarish means that we no longer give the courtesy to the male to have his da'as intact when he releases the wife. So as a male, your starting point is you're entitled to da'as and ratzon when you're giving over the chain of custody and you're saying this is no longer my property, take it. I'm done with it. But if you keep on irritating the Beis Din and showing that you don't care about a peaceful ending on behalf of the children, and you just want to, not you, a husband just wants to keep on holding control and insisting on manipulating the process, they go through certain escalation processes in the Beis Din system where they go from mitzvah lagarish, chayav lagarish, to kaifin lagarish. So the goal here is not what is the solution. The goal is that people need to know what kaifin lagarish means. Kaifin lagarish means I don't care if she's alienating the kids. I don't care if she stole all your assets. The Batei Dinim already said kaifin lagarish. That means we don't care what the song and drama and maisim and we don't care. You need to let her go. So the solution is education on what kaifin means. It means no ifs, ands, or buts. And don't tell me later it was a get meusa, and don't tell me later you were manipulated. No, kaifin means you lost your chance. You better do what the Beis Din says now.
And how are they kaifining these days? How are they kaifining?
So there is not enough education amongst the Batei Dinim on what qualifies for kaifin. So they schlep it out for much longer than is, according to Gittin, halachically allowed, because they are giving more sympathies to the males that they identify with. And because of the Batei Dinim's prioritization of shalom bias, which I understand for our, Haimish, wonderful, warm community, they end up extending and Erlicha communities, right? And
I'm
Haliga
learning.
communities. We have an extenuating time frame between these stages. The stages of mitzvah lagarish, chayav lagarish, kaifin lagarish. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be speedy. It's not supposed to be something you schlep like tsar balachayim, like you take one leg off of a spider one at a time and watch it suffer. It's a complete
Yeah.
achzarios.
Also, why does it last that long? Like, again, an hour, because we're talking here. I'm Sephardi and you're not, right? And nobody's perfect. But what I'm trying to say, now I'm joking. So listen,
No, I actually am. I'm a quarter Sephardi. I'm a quarter.
Oh,
I am a quarter Sephardi.
welcome to the club.
So my maternal grandmother is from Yemen.
Oh, okay, got it.
And my paternal grandfather is from Izmir, Turkey.
Oh, so that explains a lot, Again, flight, Belgium, rabbi, hi, Flatbush girl, Brooklyn, New York. Where's my get? That explains a lot, But no, I know Ashkenaz. I love all Jews. Okay, but bottom line is, I understand. Now, why does it take so long in our communities, Adina?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's a problem. They come to the Hacham. Hacham, we have a problem. Okay. They bring the husband, the wife, and back in the day, it would be, I'll tell you in Arabic, let's say, shul, right? Take 10, 15 minutes, and either they go home, most of the time that would be the case, you go home, or get on the spot, or maybe a day later. Like, why does it take months? That's how we are. 10, 15 minutes, khalasna. We don't allow... Like, Talmidei Chachamim, Marbim Shalom Ba'olam, that's what it says, right? Talmidei Chachamim, they make peace in the world. Whether it's for good or for bad, you finish it now, right? Like the end of the Amidah. That's how we end the Amidah, right? With peace. Why does it take that long?
Okay, so first of all, Well, sometimes it's not a very Bishalom Dika manner to end something. Sometimes it's extremely confrontational, dangerous, and high risk. Not only high risk physically, but sometimes very high risk with litigation. Mari Batesh has commented earlier here that he just got sued again yesterday or something. I'm in the
Yeah,
same boat. I'm
yeah.
juggling 5 concurrent
I
defamation
survived
lawsuits.
a lawsuit. By the way, I'm a survivor of lawsuit as well. But and you know, I had to meet. Bottom line is, Shalom, buy it. You have to buy it. You understand? That's what these are. My Malka said that. You got to buy it. So you get, here you go, no problem. Out. You know, I understand, and I won't go against an individual again. I won't do that because you do you get sued constantly? I would
I'm
assume, right? You
currently in 5 litigations, open litigations for
holy,
defamation.
God
I'm
bless you.
I'm a good 50K in since September on legal fees.
Wow.
It's running me really, really dry, but I will not let anybody
And which
silence
is
me.
why you charge.
So one of the things I do is I charge for my time, like any tie-in would do, like any die-in would
You're,
do, like any
you're like
basically
a
charge for
lawyer.
services.
You're a lawyer in the Jewish courts. That's really what you are in a
Well,
way, or an
no,
advisor.
no, I'm more like an advocate who will do anything and everything, and I oversee and project manage other people who are on the team who do things. I'm not the only team member who tries to troubleshoot and get, and my team members are extremely skilled and experts in their field. They will not work for me for free. And in addition, it's not just about, it's there's so many expenses. There's so many expenses involved, and to be able to even have extra cushion in case I'm sued 100%. I'm currently in 5 lawsuits right now.
I was in one, and I was like, okay, bro, how do I stop seeing your name and JEDSNJ Courts? I couldn't see another email of that. Every day you open, but my problem is that because I'm scared, I got to go and type up the risk because I was, they were helping me out. I wasn't getting my own
You were
lawyer.
pro
Lawyers
se.
were helping me out. And then I pro se and I put it in, right? Now I got to go and write a Word document. I don't do this stuff, you feel? I just don't want to deal with that.
That's the
And then
goal.
sending all the videos and all the nonsense, like, get me out of here, you
Yeah,
know?
it's very stressful and it's a very high cost of doing this kind of advocacy work. For me, I always just continue to motivate myself because I say I'm only as good as my biggest fear. If I'm afraid of lawsuits, then what good am I to the community if then the next person could just shut me up with another cease and desist? So
And
for
then the
me,
goodness will have no one standing for them going on a flight to Belgium, middle of the night. Rabbi, where's the guy?
yeah, it was a lot more
And I
conversational than that.
seen
But
you
yeah.
even also in Brooklyn, like, you'll go into the yeshiva. Like, oh, Stiebel? Okay, the study session going on, right? All of a sudden, Flatbush girl comes in. Rabbi, where is it? I can only imagine they're all studying there. You walk, where's the get? You know, like this, you do this kind of stuff. And by the way, these guys could get physical sometimes.
Oh
Is
yeah.
this right?
I've been in situations
Should be very careful. Be
that
very
were
careful.
no, no, no. They should be very careful. Let them
Oh,
try it. I would like to see them physically
okay.
assault me. Let's go.
I'm
Bring
picking
it on. Let's
up what you're
go.
taking
Hit me.
down.
Hit
I'm
me
picking up what you're
harder.
taking
They're gonna
down.
go down so bad if they touch me. Let's do this. Let's go.
Wow. That's, you know what? I can't say it any better myself. That's awesome. I would say the same thing if I was in this kind of cause. No issues. You go like this. Bring it on, my
Bring it
friend.
on.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Come on.
Let's
Come
go.
on now. You know? Right. Let's go. So, but bottom line is good stuff. And so yeshiva, you go into the yeshiva, where's the get? Great. Now, how are, again, we haven't answered this, Adina. And I want to also tell you that I watched your interview with the mislabeled interview. It's famous, went all over. Can you give us your thoughts on the mislabeled interview? I'd like to hear it.
You know what? They're a bunch of, products of the yeshiva system where the prioritization of women's rights has not really been taught to them yet. And they're learning, and
Uh,
they did their part. They did
uh,
their part by sharing some information about the Aguna crisis, and I'm grateful for that.
very interesting. You definitely held your own. I got to tell you that.
Thank
You
you.
know, props to you. You held your own and tough. Also, it was you and 3 guys. Is that right?
I can handle more than that.
Okay.
Yeah,
By the way, Saban would have a few words on that, but that's a separate
I
story.
can handle
Also,
it.
I got you. I got you, and I respect it. Picking up what you're putting down. I am. Now, next, so you should be. We have a word in Syrian called dachilak. Dachilak, Yani, please, please. Like you know, you got to be careful with your body. I mean, I don't know if you're. Are you a fighter? Like, are you UFC? What you do one of these things? No, you just show up,
I
guns blazing.
You know what? But nothing is more nothing creates more fear in a man than a woman who is not
I
afraid
would
to
run the
use her
other way.
voice.
You, if you came like, oh, but run the other way. I mean, what do I got to do? Where do I sign? You know?
Yes.
And again, where do I sign? Because like, I listen, I could fight, man. I'm fighting a woman. Like, what do you want from me? Do you want it? Here you go.
Right.
Whatever you want. You know? But good
Yes.
stuff. Good stuff. So again, we haven't covered solutions. Adina,
So
again,
the
you're talking
solution,
to
like I
Judge
said, is
Platty. Judge Platty. Let's say I'm the Bedin now. And you came to me, let's say I'm the top rabbi in the generation, right? They're gonna say Lahavdil, let's say, right? Because I don't look like the rabbis. But okay.
I would say
What's
after 18 months of the husband and wife no longer having any physical intimacy, so she has stopped going to the mikveh and it's been 18 months, I would say it is an automatic kaifin lagarish. Kaifin again means we don't care what your excuses are. And it doesn't matter if we need to manipulate or trick you into giving verbal rishus to release your wife. We're gonna scam and con our way to the get, and your agency and your agency in giving over that rishus is no longer yours to give. It is ours to take, and that is what I would ask you as the Av Bezdin. If that was, if you were the Av Bezdin of all the Batei Dinims, I would say an automatic kaifin
I
lagarish
love
after
it.
18 months of no
I love
physical
it.
intimacy.
Meaning, if there was no, I love it. That's excellent. I mean, and that's a long time. That's a long time to give. Like, it should really be 6 months, or really you owe it. So it honestly should even be much shorter. Why? Because in the ketubah, going back to the ketubah, right? You have to give she'era. It's in the Swiss parasha. There's the one we just read. She'era, kesuta, ve'onata, lo yigra. Right? You have to give her clothing. You got to give her time, and you got to give her kesut, and money to whatever. Right?
And oh no,
Um,
and oh
of
no.
course, onata, 100%. And if you don't give, and that's based on what kind of job you do. In our days, it got to be minimum once a week. That really means that if 1 week passes and the woman could go and say he did not whatever in a week, absolutely, it's in a contract that you
The
sign when
contract.
you get married. So 18 months, you're giving a lot of time, a
So
lot
I
for
would
shalom.
hope I would hope for a much faster process in which kfiyah was done. I personally think that if there was severe abuse in the marriage, it should be faster. But I am that's why I gave such a long timeline, because because it's such a fair and reasonable request, and I don't want the request denied. So do you authorize it?
In my court, dude, in my court, you know how it is? If the contract, we follow contracts. Dude, I'm a salesman, right? If the customer didn't pay, there's a contract. We could go, no problem. We'll sue you. No issues, right? Sued, it's a layup. That's it. If the contract says once a week you got to be with me, once a week you got to be with me. And if 1 week passes and the wife is in a bad mood, she comes to the bedin, right? She's right. Why didn't you go? Now either you go home.
He could say, I want Shalom Bias, I want to reconcile. She's blocking me. I can't see her. It doesn't matter. She doesn't
So
want you. It's been
18
18
months is
months.
a long time because we value time, right? Our time. Now, I guess now I understand. I also saw, because, I'm a big, I consume Instagram. I shouldn't, but I consume it. Then I saw your item with like, okay, we have a strike. We're calling a strike on all the women of Israel. And that you got really a lot of heat for that.
Yeah.
From the chats of the Satmar and the Garar and the Tosh and the Bavitcher also, all of them. You went and made them go wild. Could you speak on that for a little bit? On the strike.
On the strike?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, it's the most obvious thing in the world. If women are being told that they're being told by under their chuppah that they're going to be taken care of and they're going to be satisfied and they're going to be given money and pleasure, and that's not what's happening, and women are being left chained in dead marriages despite the fact that the ksuba is being violated and that contract is being disregarded, right? Then we were lied, we were duped into the wedding canopy, and therefore the whole ksuba should be null and void. We shouldn't even be able to be in the same room together, and women should stand with each other as a revolution to say, what good is my ksuba if you don't even honor it when you violate it? So that was
And
what the thought process was.
very creative, very creative. Got to tell you,
Thank
because
you.
you sent the Jewish world into a frenzy with that one.
Well, that's
And
not even my greatest trick yet. I have so many more big tricks coming.
oh, I'm putting again, taking what you're saying and putting it out there. I got you now. What I want to say for a second is because I also heard you were handing out in one of your events. You had some sort of a campaign with toys and stuff like this. I don't know how that's connected.
What do you mean? It's so obvious. Again, if women are being chained to dead marriages and
Oh,
their
it's to help them through the strike. To help them through the strike.
it's to help. It's to help agunas who are being denied their conjugal rights from their husbands who are violating the ksuba and not doing the bare minimum. It's to raise awareness about women's entitlement and rights to pleasure, which is what Benos Yisrael are entitled to. So that's it. All comes down to
Wow.
that. It comes down to women's rights, women's bodily rights, women's autonomy, women's agency, and women's, and the encouragement of healthy conversations around sexuality. I have to go and do a couple of promos. My advertisers are gonna like kill me. I'm so
Last
late.
thing, because we have a couple of people watching, but yeah, I'll close with this. Very interesting, and you're willing to go to any length. So if you gave away some toys because you're bored or you're in a gunna, you're going full force.
Whatever is needed, whatever is needed. I would literally start an OnlyFans to be able to get more gits in. I would do
No, stop.
whatever is
Oh,
needed,
stop.
y'all. I would.
Stop.
I would. I would.
That
Whatever is
that.
needed. Esther Hamalka did it. Why can't I?
What did she do? It's coming
She
up
went and
perm.
seduced the
Yeah.
queen to
Karka
free
karka olam
her
hayata.
people, to free
Says
her
karka
people.
karka olam hayata. We speak. Yes. Yeah. She whatever she had to. Karka olam. She was
Whatever
part of the ground because he was the king of the place. So it is what it
whatever
is, right?
is needed to raise awareness, that is what will happen, and we
Let's
will
not
not
go that far
stop.
because Judge Platty's court. You said 18 months. I told you my court a week. You got it? So bottom line is very nice, beautiful, good stuff. And I hope that, I don't know, I mean, I'm not an Av Bastin of anywhere, but in my age group, I'm not seeing nobody do anything about this, and it's not okay. Like we said 3 years ago, not okay. Adina Sash, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shavua Tov.
Thank you
And
so much, Chino. It's amazing how I'm really
I
so
won't
impressed by your
take a flight
memory.
to Belgium. Hi, Adina. That I won't do. But whatever I could do, let me know.
I
Okay?
really appreciate it. And I really
All the
appreciate your
best.
charm and your charisma. Thank you for giving more amplification to the Aguna
Shavua
crisis.
Tov. Regards. All the best. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Very interesting. I got to say. Very interesting. Um, she's cool. She's very cool. Karka Olam Hayata means she was as the Karka Olam. Who do we have here? How are we doing today? No, you gotta show the ace fay, my bro. No ace fay. I'm not doing that kind of nonsense. The thing that they did to her. Oh, let's remember what they did to her a few years ago. The guy with the hanging item. That I'm not doing that. Let's see what we have over here. 1 second. But that was interesting. How you doing, bro? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sound. I cannot hear you. It's not coming up. Something's off with your phone. The sound. Anyway, yeah, I can't hear you. Your sound is off. You got it, buddy. Um, we can't hear him. Okay, cool. You could just re-request because I couldn't hear you. Um, all right, so that was very interesting, I got to say. And she has a lot of guts, a lot of energy, it looks like. And she's willing to go. She even said OnlyFans. I'm like, bro, okay, let's keep it at that. I don't know about that, you know? But she's willing to go to any length, and it's very commendable. It's very commendable that the women have someone to turn to. Lo alenu, right, Mari? If you want to come on, Fadal. If the women have someone to turn to, I mean, she's willing to go to any length, and you know, God bless her. I guess she should get paid if she's putting herself in danger, right? Football players get paid. So what's the difference? You're putting your body on the line. Anyway, that's the story. Good stuff. I'm going to leave it at that because that was a good interview, I think. So, Shavua Tov, all the best. Take care, guys.